I haven't been out on the four-wheeler trails since last year, mainly because the last time I took this thing out, I blew it up. This is my 2014 Canam Maverick XRS with the 1000R engine in it. As you can see, she's all torn down. So even last year, I only took this thing out maybe 3 times. The first time went pretty good. The second time, I had a stator failure, so it stopped charging on me. That was unfortunate, but at least I was in town. I think it was in the town of Barton. Drove through and there was a parts store open, so I ended up throwing a new battery in it, and it at least made it back to where I started off anyways, so that was good. But yeah, I replaced the stator, and the next time I drove it, well, she blew up on me. That's when the serious problems happened. So we were just cruising along, and all of a sudden it just died. It heard a bad noise and it just come to a complete stop. Looked underneath this thing, there was oil everywhere. What happened? I'll show you what happened actually. But as you can see, there's no engine, transmission's out of it, everything's out of it. So I'll show you what happened. I've been debating for a while now. Am I gonna fix the Can-Am? Am I gonna, you know, sell it the way it is, buy something different? And I just couldn't make up my mind. Still, well, I have made up my mind, and what I ended up doing is buying something new. So you guys are gonna see that today. We'll go check that out here in a minute. I'll show you what happened with the Can-Am first though. I got the transmission I got the parts laid out right now. So this is a box of parts for that Canam Maverick. The engine's all torn down. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark in here. But that is the main problem right there. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know what happened. Some people seem to think it hydrolocked, but we didn't hit any water whatsoever. I mean, it was a dry day. We were driving down a dirt road. To me, what happened is the cap failed on the connecting rod, and then it just jammed it up in there and bent it all the heck. You know, as you can see, damaged the piston, damaged the connecting rod, the crank. A lot of problems with that right there. So obviously I need a complete engine. Actually, when this broke, it slammed down, and I have a 500 engine here, same idea. So this right here is a Rotax 500, a lot smaller engine, but the same idea. It's a V-twin. See this shaft right here? I think you guys can see it. There's a shaft that goes from one end to the other, and it's just kind of supported inside the engine. If I pull this out, you see it better. So on this end, it hooks to the transmission, and then on that end, it goes up to the front drive shaft to power the front differential. And when this connected rod had snapped, it came down and it snapped that shaft right in half. What this did, it went right into the engine case, broke the engine case all up. So I need an engine case. Obviously you need the shaft, which is no big deal, but the engine case is a big deal. The crank is a big deal. The pistons, the cylinders. One side's good, but one side's bad. So a lot of money is going to have to be invested into that thing. Probably better off buying another complete engine, to be honest. But unfortunately, that's not all. So where this shaft goes, this goes into the transmission here. This is the transmission from that Maverick. I got it all torn down. Everything's in good shape, except this right here. I think you guys can see that. It's all chewed up. What happened is when this gets pushed in there, and then this is what activates your four-wheel drive, because the shaft broke and put a lot of pressure on it. It chewed this all up. I actually can't even get it. It actually took a lot of force to get that. Man, it's hot out today. It took me a lot of force to get that transmission separated from the engine, because it kind of scarred itself up in there. So basically I need another transmission as well, or to replace that one gear that I don't seem to find on the internet for sale. So we're down to, we bought a new rig. Let's go check her out. So a little backstory on this. We've been looking for a while at different machines, and I had the Razors. I haven't had a 4-seater. We're looking for a 4-seater because we want to take the family around, right? So I've been looking at some Razors, been looking at Polaris General. I'm familiar with Polaris. I know a lot of people don't like them because of the quality. I've actually never ran into too many issues with those machines. I had a Polaris, my first side-by-side was a Polaris RZR 800, and that thing was pretty bulletproof other than belts. I did go through a few belts. I think I put like 3,000 miles on it. Within the 3,000 miles, I put like 3 belts on. Here's a machine if you want to take any guesses. But yeah, so I put 3 belts on that RZR 800. Other than that, no issues. One belt I think was defective. I put a cheap Gates belt on there, and instantly it blew within the first, I'd say probably 10, 15 miles or so. It wasn't great. But anyways, I put a new Polaris belt on there, and it lasted the rest of the time I owned the machine before I sold it. After that, I went to a Polaris RZR Turbo 2-seater. Had no issues at all with that machine. And I think I put around 3,000 on that as well before I sold it. But you know, maybe if you keep them longer, maybe I would have had issues. I mean, everything wears out eventually. Anyways, we narrowed it down to is the Polaris General 4-seater or the Yamaha R-Max 4. They're both 1,000 twins. The R-Max is a lot shorter wheelbase than the Polaris General. So I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, just because it seemed like it would be a lot crampier inside the cab than the Polaris General. We went and checked some out at a local dealership, and I mean, those were brand new. I wasn't gonna get those, but I just wanted to get a feel for what they were. And you know, the Yamaha actually had more room than I thought. So I narrowed it down to those. I found 2. One was only 2 hours away from me. That was the R-Max. The other one was 6 hours. I'm talking one way, 6 hours driving. It was actually in Pennsylvania. That was the Polaris General 4-seater, and you know, that were in my budget. That was the XP4. Anyways, you might get an idea what this is by now, but let me uncover it and show you what it is. All right, let me get over here. We'll uncover. And we went Yamaha R-Max. Now, it actually came with a cover, came with a lot of different stuff. So let's check her out. Go ahead and pull her off the trailer. We can check it out. So here she is. Beautiful machine. I really like the colors of this thing, the green, the black. It came with you know, everything on here. Got the front windshields, got the back fold-up window. He said this helps a lot with the dust. We got a brand new spare wheel and tire on the back here, so that's a plus. With a little hitch. I don't know if I care for the hitch thing. Probably I might take that off. I don't know. We'll see. But it's got the Fox adjustable shocks on it. But yeah, good looking unit overall. Definitely a short wheelbase for a 4-seater. But you know what? There's actually plenty of room back here. Now, to be honest, I didn't buy this because I did not like the General. I actually didn't even try out the General. The General was quite a ways away. I bought this mainly. It was cheaper. It was $2,500 cheaper than that General. This has got 1,000 miles less than the General I was looking at. So, you know, overall, I paid 15 grand for this thing. The way it is, it's got 1,270 miles on it. It's been very well cared for. It was an older gentleman and his wife that owned this thing. So I'm pretty happy with the deal. Let's check it out some more. So yeah, this is the XTR model. So it comes with a little bit better shocks on it, a little bit bigger tires. All the R-Maxes, I think, come with a roof. He bought the Yamaha windshield. I think he said that was like 500 bucks alone. She's been to Mount Washington. I did that with my Polaris RZR Turbo. That was pretty fun. But yeah, let's check her out on the inside here. One thing, I mean, it looks good. The lines look good because there's no door handles, but I don't care how all the side-by-sides are basically inside the machine. It makes it hard to, you know where they are when you're first starting out. Once you get used to them, they're fine. But so yeah, the seats are very comfortable. I do not like this getting in here. When I go to get in here, it hits my back every time. And when I'm in here, you know. It feels good and everything. I always use my doors on my razors for an armrest. I can't do that with this stupid, you know, I know it's for safety reasons, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I thought about cutting it off, seriously. But anyways, it's there for now. That's the only complaint I got for comfort in here. Sitting wise, I think the Polaris General had a little bit more leg room. I don't know, they're very close. But this has got the fancy gauge, the Adventure Pro they call it. So I don't know anything about this yet. We'll have to, I know it's got like navigation, which is kind of cool. So yeah, it shows where I am right now. Well, that's kind of cool. It shows the terrain and everything. We're in Island Pond. I don't know. I'll have to mess around with this some more to see timing mode. Yeah, to see what's going on. I don't even know how to get back to, there we go. I only tried this thing out just a little bit at the guy's house. He was in Shelburne, Vermont, which is kind of, I don't know, I consider it a city. It's right past, it's right by a big city, Burlington. So there was nowhere to try it out. We tried it down the tar a little bit. Couldn't really get a feeling for it because it was on tar. I know it turned hard and stuff, and I didn't like how it went on the tire, but nothing goes, none of these ATVs go that great on the tire, but it's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure. You get your regular speedometer right here, and then you get the Adventure Pro, which is kind of cool. I'll start it up. You can see, shows your RPMs, shows your charging voltage, so that's cool. Then you got GPS speed. I noticed the GPS speed was not the same as this speed. It's off like a couple miles an hour. I don't know, it could be, maybe it was just delayed or something. Then your time, of course, engine temp, that's kind of cool. Might have more stuff on here, I don't know. But we got sport mode, trail mode, and crawl mode. We'll see how those work. He showed me a little bit. I know if we put this in neutral, so I'm gonna touch the throttle on crawl mode. Very delayed. Trail mode, a little bit better. Sport mode, a lot more responsive. That's not full throttle, but just a little bit, so you can kind of get the idea. Over here we got our two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, diff lock, our light switch. Speaking of that light switch, so we got low beam, high beam. He did a little riding at night, and he actually installed a LED light bar right there, which is kind of cool. It's usually just a little, it's usually just a plastic cover there, so that's pretty handy. And then your lights, I don't know, they don't look, well, yeah, those are pretty bright. I think these are just daytime running lights, but that's gonna be bright at night. It's got the fold down windshield, which is gonna be great, especially for days like today. It's got to be in the 90s or it's got to be close to 90 degrees anyways. But yeah, anyways, shut this thing off. So I'll show you the back seats. It's a little awkward getting in here. It kind of sits up high, but it's not, you know, you can get in here pretty good. Now once you're in here, this is the biggest difference with between this and the Polaris General. The Polaris General, you have a lot more room in the back. This, you know, it's not bad. Like, my knees have a lot of room. This seat is all the way back, I believe, and I still got, you know, a good 4 inches or so. I got enough room to stretch my legs out here. However, this console in the center, I'm guessing this is where the engine is. It's kind of limited. That's as far as I can spread my legs, you know. So same thing on that side. So, you know, it feels comfortable to me right now, but after a long ride, bumping around, hitting my knee here, it might not be as great. But mainly it's gonna be my daughter in the back here, and then my father goes with us sometimes, so actually quite a bit. So we'll see how his thoughts are in the back seat anyways. But we got 4 cup holders up here. We got some storage up there. So that's another big difference between this and the General. You don't have, well, you don't have a dump bed for one, and you don't have a lot of storage back here. You got maybe a foot or so, 10 inches in between here and the seat. But you can fold these seats up. He showed me there, and then they slide all the way up, and then you have more of a bed to put stuff in. But I'm not even going to attempt that right now because I don't know how to do it. I got to look some stuff up. Like I said, it's got this. You do have a tailgate, but you can't use the tailgate with this on. You'd have to undo it. Same thing with this. You can't use the tailgate with that spare tire on. So I don't know how I feel about that. But these tires, well, you can see what they look like new. This is a front tire, and you can see how much tread it's got. And these have 1,270 miles on them. So they're doing pretty good so far. Yeah, not bad. This machine is pretty clean, I think. A little dusty from having that cover on it, and then the trip here. But yeah, it's pretty clean overall. So we got a little storage box here, glove box there, and then a couple little cubbies. I do like this. If you ever want to put, these are for different switches. That's for your winch right there. You got all these switches for the add-ons. Now the LED light bar he put on, he just wired it so when you turn the high beams on, it comes on, which is kind of nice. You actually got some more switches here, switch spots anyways. You just pull these little plastic or rubber tabs out, a little dusty in there, and then you can add your switch to whatever you need. Light bars, lights, stereos. That's one thing this does not have yet, is a stereo, so I'm gonna have to add something in here for that. But we do get the Yamaha mirror. That's always great to have. But yeah. So yeah, this will be what I'm driving. Reminds me of a Jeep with that back part on right now. But this will be what I'm driving this summer, and hopefully I enjoy it. The Maverick went good, but I like the more upright sitting position of these and the Polaris General. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting too old. My wife did like this. She's used to the Razor. She likes this handlebar in the front. The Polaris General doesn't have that. It's got a grab bar here and one on the door. So she did like the fact that this is here, and then it's completely adjustable with this lever. You can push it in and out. But yeah, I think that'll make a good little buggy for us this year. And then I'm gonna try to sell the Maverick as is, needing work. I don't know, try to get some money back out of it. Probably try to get $5 grand if I could. We'll see. I might end up fixing it, I might not, I don't know. I hate taking a big loss on it, but it is what it is. So anyways, yeah, we'll be riding this. I'll do a test drive video on this here coming up. The guy I bought this from hasn't had it serviced yet this year, so I'll be doing a servicing on it as well. So we'll make that another complete video, but we gotta try this thing out and give it a good test ride. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.